Hey everyone, welcome to I Totally Love It. My name is Susan, and today I'm working on December daily days 28 and 29. I was going to kind of wait and just do the last four all at once, but I just got through doing my junk journal sketches video, and it kind of correlated with day 29. So I thought I'll go ahead while I have stuff out, go ahead and work on day 28 and 29. Um, so day 28, the prompt is struggles you've overcome. I've had quite a few this year, and if you've heard me say it before, I'm ready for 2024 to going out the door. Um, Day 29, the prompt says every dog has its day. Your pets, past, present, wished for. So I've printed out some pictures of our pets from the past and current pet. And if you've watched my junk journal sketches, then you'll understand why I kept saying it kind of goes with today's or that prompt for, well, it is today. Today's December 29th. Having to play catch up on a lot of videos. Gosh, getting sick in December threw me off. School gets busy right that week, but you get out for break. Then you have all the Christmas activities. And then, of course, after Christmas, we've had 2 days of bad weather. So um, there might be a lot of videos coming at you. I'll try to group them as best I can so you don't have to watch so many at one time. Like multiple things in a video. Okay. Um, let's get on with the show then. So, day 28, hang in there, struggles you've overcome. I've got a page back here that needs a little cover up because of it's the back of this scrapbook paper. I made this little, it's called an ink box. It is it's been an Instagram challenge hosted by Dawn Lynn Designs. And every month she had a different theme. And an ink box is just a 3x3 card, and you just, decorate it with the theme. And this theme was Yuletide, so Christmassy. And so I'm going to use that to cover that up, and I'm going to journal here about 2024. I think I might just talk through this video. I don't think I'll have any music. Some of you are probably like, yay. So these little, if you have a Hobby Lobby, you look in the little scrapbook paper section. I know I've talked about this. Some of you are probably like, oh, here we go again. You can get the scrap packs from time to time where they've cut up, scrapbook paper or cardstock really, into these taller pieces, which are what, 6x6 by, come on, Susan, 6x4. And then they also come with these 3x3 squares. So I've been using those. And I didn't know about ink boxes until January. So shout out to Dawn Lynn for introducing me to those. And she's got it coming up again in 2025. And once again, that's on Instagram. All right. So let's talk about the struggles of 2020. Can you see this? 20. I know I'm right-handed, so I gotta tilt it a little. Struggles of 2024. So let's see. What was the thing? Hang in there. Let's call it that. The struggles of 2024. Well, number one, at the very tail end of January, beginning of February, I got COVID for the first time. So people were like, well, it's probably just your first time diagnosed. No, I never felt like that before. I've been times I felt like I had a respiratory infection. Like this particular time, I would get tested. This time I just did it at home, and like before the fluid even finished going across. As soon as it hit that line, it was like COVID. So let's see. Um, January, February, COVID strikes. Me for the first time. Um, yeah, I wasn't like terribly sick. I felt like I just had a cold or whatnot. In fact, we kind of thought when we got sick here in December. So in the beginning of November, um, I had jury duty. Sorry if I put that out there and now it's in the universe and someone else is going to get it. My apologies. This town we've lived in for 6 years now, we've been called 4 times. I've been called 4 times. The very first time was right before COVID hit in 2020, and it was luckily got canceled. Okay. And then mid-November, my husband gets his notice to show up for jury duty first Monday in December. Well, so he had it that Monday, and he comes back. Uh, he's working. He works at home Tuesday, Wednesday. He really starts to feel bad, like he's going downhill. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it. Sure enough, um, I got it. And then my youngest daughter just got it this past week. So it's just the credit. Anyways, my husband took a COVID test and it was negative. So it was just the crud, like a upper respiratory infection. So, yep. Okay. What was the second thing? Well, before the next big thing for me, there was a big event in our family for my youngest daughter, but we're not going to put that out there for the world to hear about. But she's doing better. So just thank the Lord that we're on a mend there. But that was very stressful when her situation was happening, because at school we're also getting ready to take our state exam. So she ended up missing her exam. She was able to make it up because they want everybody to make it up. Of course, hers high school, they only have a few and they got to take to pass to graduate. Anyways, so she got hers, but um, everybody was back in school, and I had my students took theirs, and a week later, I got the shingles. So that was the end of April. It was April, very end of April, and to May. And that commercial, shingles doesn't care. It doesn't. Um, so if you've been here on my channel, you remember me making those videos. I got shingles. I think the majority of people tend to get it like on their back, like under their arm, kind of wraps around their abdomen. I got shingles in my right jaw. And so I had blisters on my chin, on my tongue. Yeah. Chin. Oh, and lip. I really didn't get them on my cheek, but the pain would just shoot through my jaw. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear all this. And from time to time, I have a scar on my chin now from the very first blister cluster. And from time to time, it like vibrates. And that was the original feeling. So whenever it vibrates, I get scared. that it's going to come back. Doctor says it was due to stress. I am over 50, so I've now been vaccinated. The first vaccine hurt, so make sure you get it in your arm that you don't sleep on or write with. I'm like rotisserie chicken at night, so yeah, rotate and rotate. So I'm right-handed, so I got it in my left arm, and then I went back. You have to go back after 8 weeks to get the second one. So we had fall break, and I went and got that at the beginning of break because first one just made me feel blah, and I expected that from the second one, and then it wasn't as bad as the first. What else have I had to overcome? Oh, work. So in August and into September, I have never felt as much work stress. I'm surprised it didn't cause me to have shingles again, and I was worried about that or a stroke. um, I ooh, let me just stick those two words together. I was teaching math and reading to two groups. Now, if you're not in the education world, you're like, well, what's the big deal? Well, those are both tested subjects. And I had only 2 hours with each class. So it was basically an hour of math, an hour of reading. And students on my side of the hallway and my groups, their majority of the reading levels are really low. They're like grade or 2, so maybe 3 levels behind. And they were like that when they were in third graders. And being a math teacher, I've taught reading before. It's just been some years. The original plan was to be self-contained, all 3 teachers be self-contained. That didn't pan out, and one of us was self-contained, and she still is, but my partner and I, she's now teaching reading and social studies. I've got math and science, and it's so much more relaxed. I mean, I can teach math, till the cows come home. You just tell me what the objective is, and we'll do what we can with whatever we've got. We've worked without a textbook for years, so I can do that. But that really put me in a I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to quit. I really thought about walking out the door. And I don't know. We have a new superintendent. He started actually back in May. Put my pin in my glue here because it's going to dry out. And anyways, he obviously is going to come in and make some changes and try to upgrade our district, I guess, And so I'm trying to hang in there. My daughter has 1 more year in that school district. We don't live there, so I hate to change her, and she's got 1 more year to graduate. Um, so, but I feel like I'm close to retiring, yet I'm not. So, do I want to continue there? I guess we'll see what next year has in store for us. So, yeah, there was one more little struggle here at the end. I don't really want to discuss in public, but it's work related. But hopefully that'll work itself out. Okay, so thanks if you're still with me, thanks. I appreciate you. All right, let's move on to day 29. Every dog has its day, your pet's past, present, and wish for. So I'm not really wishing for any more pets right now, but so I did this for my junk journal sketches, and I put the 2 pictures of my daughter's cat, Remy, who's our current pet. I should say one of our current pets. She's the star of the show. And I didn't think about. I have a picture of her at the top of the tree. I didn't think about that one. Anyways, well, I'll find a spot and print it out later. But so those are. She's present. I printed out some pictures of our pets in the past. So I'm gonna start with the very first one. And of course, this is the only picture I could find. So this is my brother Kurt in the middle in the red shirt. He's my oldest brother. That's his dog Junior, a little dachshund. And that's me all the way on the left with the pigtails and plaid shirt. The girl in the white shirt's a neighbor kid. Neighbor kid. Well, not in the neighborhood. We had just kind of moved in a few years before this. This is my little brother John, my older brother Tim. He's 1, 2, first, second, third, fourth. And then I shared a picture of my cousin Lance, and that's probably one of the last times I saw Lance until 2019. And there's his sister, my cousin Chelsea. Anyway, so Junior was our first pet as a family, and I was terrified of dogs. And Kurt actually had gotten him for Christmas, and I believe it was Christmas. Could have been his birthday. I don't remember. Anyways, I do remember wearing Christmas pajamas, so that doesn't really mean anything. But my parents made me sit on the floor and hold Junior, and I, became a dog lover because Junior was just looking all over me. But I was like crying and screaming and stuff. They're like, "We're not having that." um, and Junior spent a lot of time sleeping in my bed growing up. He passed away when I went to college. It was like my junior year in college, so like 1992, around there, 93. And yeah, it was sad. I wasn't there, but he'd gotten him, what, in 1983, maybe? So we had him for a while. I mean, my brother, if he was commenting up here, he could tell me. But that was Junior. Junior lived a long time. He never really had back problems so much as a dachshund. Okay, and I'm sorry I'm clearing my throat, but getting over all this stuff. All right, then the next dogs. I actually got these two puppies for my dad, 1996. Before, so like about 3 years after Junior passed. Before I got married, that's my husband, Jeff, soon to be husband at the time. And he was with me when we adopted. That's Millie. That's Peanut. They were the last two, and I couldn't just take one and leave the other. So we adopted both. Excuse me. I'm so glad I did because Peanut. So we adopted it in April, and then my little brother John graduated in like very beginning of June. And after that graduation that night, I was sitting in the recliner. We were watching TV, and my brother in and out with his friends and stuff. At my parents' house, and I was holding Peanut, and we were sitting there chilling, and he let out this cry I'll never forget. Anyways, and his legs started shaking. He got distemper, and we ended up having to put him down. And my brother Kurt went with me, and that was hard. And then Millie, she was the only one left, and she hung out with my dad for a while, and she ended up living with my uncle through the rest of her days. If I could have come back, because I'd moved to North Carolina, if I could have come back and gotten her, I would have. All right. Well, then my husband and I got married in 97, May 31st, 1997. And we bought bought a townhouse in August of that year. Moved in on a Wednesday, and on Saturday we went to adopt a dog. And so we had Sparky. Here's a picture of Sparky. This is probably not maybe a year before he passed. He passed in 2011. He was born in 97. No, yeah, 97. March 97. So he was a couple weeks because it was February 2011. He was a couple weeks from being 14. So he lived a long time. They said he was the only one of his siblings still. It was like almost like someone's huge backyard, but it was like big. They had barns and stuff, and they had little pens, and He had siblings with short hair. They all had dug out. This Sparky was the only one still in there. We were like, okay, that's the dog we want. He's not going to dig out. And they said, he gets sick when you travel because when they person brought the litter of pups, I guess he was the one that threw up. Best traveling dog ever. He's been across the United States, well, Texas, North Carolina many times. Never got sick. We sure miss Sparky. And then so Sparky died in February, and so in June that year, 2011, we adopted Lucy. She's a little she was a Schnauzer Pomeranian mix. And she passed January 2nd, 2022. So, yeah, it was 2022, 2023. Well, I already forgot. I think it was 2023. Yeah. So this year will be 2 years since she's passed. So let's see, around 2020, we were given 2 guinea pigs, Biscuit and Gravy. I don't have pictures of them. Gravy has passed. Gravy passed. Let's see, we got them in October 2020. Gravy passed July 2021. And then we still have Biscuit. That's my daughter's guinea pig. And then we adopted Remy here at the end of April of 2024 for my daughter, Katie. It's Meredith, Katie. So I'm going to glue those in there, write a little bit. And so it kind of goes with the layout that I did the other day. So I'm going to go do that real quick, and then I'll come back because I know you've been listening to me talk this whole time. All right, guys. So I've put them in. I've labeled. I did a little decorating with some stickers. I used one of those little frames from Echo Park's Lumberjack Christmas. I forgot all about my frames that were in there. But it turned out nice. And there's all my pets. Now, as far as pets for the future, we'd love another dog. But we rent, and our landlady allowed us to have our dog. And she was a small dog, and so she allowed it. And she was a little apprehensive because it was an indoor dog, but she allowed it. And then, we decided to adopt Remy. Or well, we were going to we were going to adopt a dog, and she wouldn't let us. So because she didn't know how big it would get. And when you adopt from the shelter, you have to have approval from your landlady, which makes sense. So, anyway, she was fine with the cat, and so we have Remy. But we would like to have a dog in the future, just not at this house. And we really wanted to have a kitten and a puppy at the same time, but it didn't work out. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you and your time. It took me 20 minutes to get the first part uploaded off my camera. I made a whole thumbnail for Junk Journal January while I waited, and I had to keep retrying and retrying. So, yeah, I got it done. All right, so days 28 and 29 are done. So come back for the last 2 days on the 31st, and we'll wrap up December. And I'll have a lot of empty pages, so I don't know. I don't know if I should. I don't know. I'm thinking about next year, maybe trying to use it again instead of making a whole new journal, because there's still quite a bit left. So we might do that. Maybe I'll get the cover decorated then too, right? All right, you guys. I appreciate you and your time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.